Howdy, it's tubalcain again, and in this video I'm going to show you how I make cutaways. So be sure and watch the other video, which will be called What Makes It Work number 29, where I explain how this Versamatic Rigid Supreme gear reduction reversible power drill speed reducer works. And there it is. I bought it for $1. It's an archaic tool made in the 50s. And I'm going to do a cutaway of this, and we know that, or I know that there are planetary gears in here. I already took that apart. And here are the planetary gears, and I'm going to show you, there's the sun gear, the planetary gears, and the ring gear. It's kind of messy here with the grease. Again, this was made about in the 50s. If you want to look up the patent drawing, there is the patent number. But let me talk real briefly here about some of my other cutaways. Here is the patent drawing approved in 1957. Think of 57 Chevys now. They were still using overdrives on those cars that looked like this, and it was filed in 54, so you can see the bureaucracy slowed them down by 3 years. So that's the upper part showing the planetary system, and here is the lower part showing what is inside the sealed portion. And I don't fully understand it. I will after I cut into it and make the actual cutaway. It's not totally clear to me at this time. I've made about 10 videos with cutaways, and here they are if you want to look them up. I gave you the link there, but that's way too long to try to enter, so just do a search. For instance, what makes it work, number 2, 4-cycle engine, blah, 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 just as you see it there. But here they are. I will scan down it slowly. Feel free to pause your video if you need to. That bicycle coaster brake was a very popular one. My favorite that I made, if I dare say so, was number 24, but not many people watched it, but I did a slow motion on that. So you can see here that there's, what, 8 or 10 of them. So look those up if the spirit moves you. So here are some of the samples that I still got. Some I got rid of. There's a 3-draw scroll chuck that I had cut apart. That's in the video. This was a real winner here because a lot of people that do not watch my videos and don't care two hoots about tubalcain but are bicyclists enjoyed this one. It was one of my more difficult ones to make, but and then I made this one of a governor. This is a governor off of a Farmall. I never have made a video on it. When interest started to wane in my cutaways, I don't know, I just put that on hold. And I also did one of a Jacob's chuck. And I don't know what happened to my cutaway on my little brass automatic center punch, but like I say, I like that one. Now I'll go out in the garage and show you just a couple more, and then we'll get back to the business here at hand. This is my cutaway on a 2-cycle engine. It's a Power Products, but there you can see the piston and some of the parts. These were one of my favorite engines. I hated to sacrifice it. And finally, here is the cutaway of my little Briggs Stratton. Nobody watched that video either. Also, I did one on a differential, but it was so big, it came off of a Cushman Truckster. I didn't want it around here anymore, so I took it down to the high school and gave it away. And when I talked to the auto teacher, I was really disappointed. He had never seen the inside of a differential and knew nothing about it, and showed only mild interest when I donated it. That saddened me, and I'm still sad about it. Back to the basement. I hope you liked that other little intermission I had there showing you my other projects. Alright, I'm going to do this in 2 steps. One cutaway, of course, is in this part, and the other is here in this piece. So this will be the easy one because I can look inside it. For instance, if I were just going in there blind, I wouldn't really want to cut into this. So using a Sharpie here, I outlined where I'm going to cut it away, and I'm going to do that in the milling machine, although this could easily be sawed with a hand hacksaw. Perhaps I should do that. I do not really like the way that zinc cuts. but I'll cut right through Chicago here, and I tell you, you don't ever want to cut through Chicago. Stay about 75 miles away to to get around Chicago if you're ever in Illinois. So that's what I'm going to do. I could cut all the way down here into the rim, but I thought I would preserve this part here that, of course, mates with the ring gear. So I could be done either way. There's a lot of ways to do this. That's just my way. I'm at the Bridgeport Mill, and I sure do like this ring light here I got from Hound Dog Machinery Company. And the way I'm holding it here is maybe a little obtuse to you. I guess I better take it out, but since we have that oil light bearing with a flange on there, I didn't want to clamp against that in the vise, so it's really being straddled here by this V-block, which is setting on parallel. So you got to take the time to set things up right. You don't want it to slip and ruin it, because if I do, of course, you'll never see this video. I bury my mistakes. Here I go, and that's a 1/4 inch end mill that I'm using, so I'm just going to plunge it and then just start milling away around the perimeter, I guess. I won't reduce the whole thing to chips, I don't think. Well, I might. Never know till I start. Alright, so much for that. And by the way, I misspoke. This is not zinc, this is aluminum, aluminium. So there is the window in which we can look at the planetary gears. Perhaps should be just a little larger, but that will have to do. Needs a good cleaning up now because there's grease in there. Alright, I'm halfway done. That's what it looks like, and I probably could have taken a little more off of that, but you can see now that I have a window. A window of opportunity, an opportunity to see the planetary gears. Who of all Christendom gives a darn? I should take a little more off of that. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. And yeah, I don't know why I said zinc die-cast, but it's, you know, it's clearly aluminum die-cast. Okay, half done. Now the thing is, I have to cut into here, and I have no idea what's in there. I hope that it's pretty hollow so that I don't run into some webbing or stiffeners or something in there when I actually come into the case. So I will make an exploratory hole in there, like the doctors do for exploratory surgery. So maybe just a plunge cut in there and see what I got, what's in there. Back to the Bridgeport. This is how I'm holding it in the Bridgeport vise, because the other way just didn't seem secure enough. And I don't like putting pressure against that, but I think it's going to work. Well, there's this exploratory hole. At least I can see that I'm not running into anything. I hope I can tell what's in there. So far this is revealing nothing. I mean nothing. Well, I have a huge gaping hole in there into the bowels of the Versamatic, and I can still not understand any of it, so I have to go to the bench and think about it. I am extremely disappointed to announce to you that even though I cut a very large window in the lower housing here, that very little is revealed of interest when I actually operate this. But let me show you what it does, and this will be a repeat of what's in the other one, I guess, too. But as this is being driven by the drill motor, and I'm holding on to this, you can see that it's turning and it's driven, and that's how you're going to drive your screws. The screwdriver bit would be in there. So that's what's happening. But let me take these 3 screws out real quickly and show you what happens. You see this piece falls out, and it's a nut. It engages on this thread, and that's what locks the two together. So to repeat in different words here, this is the position for driving a screw, and when this is pulled out for the reversing mechanism, it is disengaged. The nut would no longer be needed, but of course it remains in there. And then you hold the other piece and it would reverse. That make any sense to you? Well, that concludes this video on how to make a cutaway. Remember, I'm not showing you how it works. Refer to video number 28 called What Makes It Work, the Versamatic Drill Speed Reducer. I go into detail on how it works, but this is just to show you how I made the cutaway. And this is a improved version over what you will see in the other one, where you can see the sun gear in there. I took a little more material out of this area and over here, so you can see just a little bit better than what you can in the other one. So there's your planetary system and the rest of it. But the idea here was to show you how I could mill things away or drill them or saw them or remove them so that you can see the internal workings of the device. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure and watch my 950 other shop videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Here's the patent drawing. There's the patent number in circles. And this patent was issued in 1957. And I am a child of the 50s. And this is the lower section of it. Refer to Google Patents if you'd like to examine this more thoroughly. They say that Elmer Ondeck went crazy inventing this.